to Minding Your Business, the show for just absolutely incredible and outstanding business, social, and musical entrepreneurs. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about incredible musicians on tonight's show. I'm your host, June Middleton. We have talked, because this is a show for entrepreneurs, we talk sometimes about business and the different forms of business. And we've talked about the business structures such as the sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and a limited liability company. One of the things, though, that we really haven't talked about much is the partnership, which comes in more than one form. And these businesses, the sole proprietorship and the partnership, could be formed by either registering with the county clerk's office or just by saying, I'm in business. I'm a sole contractor, an independent contractor, and you have started a business. Or if you form something that's more legal, then you register with the Department of State. Now, one of the things that we have not talked much about is there's more than one form of partnership. You have the general partnership, where everybody is in participating and also open to liabilities, but then you have a limited partnership, where you have one partner which only has to worry about losing their investment as long as they stay quiet, or what's known as a silent partner. That's what a limited liability company partnership is. It's a partnership that has two or more partners who are general. They run the business. Then you have another one or two who are there just for their money. And as long as they keep their mouths shut and don't do anything, then they don't have any liability for anything that happens with that partnership beyond the amount of money that they invested. So the best thing to consider to avoid having liability in forming a business is either having a corporation or an LLC, the limited liability company. And we'll take a look at the corporations. And also, too, we have as our guest this evening a very different musical entrepreneur who will tell us how he got started and the incredible things that he's doing with his music and his musical skills and know-how. He's an incredible drummer who plays the drums with not just two drumsticks, but with three. But he'll show us that when he comes to talk to us. But before we hear our outstanding guests this evening, let's quickly just visit the corporation, which can be the most complex, although it's not that expensive to form, but it does give you total liability protection in the formation of that corporation. And you've more than likely heard of the C Corporation. There's also the S Corporation, which we will talk about on another show. This evening, we're just going to take another quick look at the C Corporation. The C Corporation is actually a person. It's a fictitious person. It's a creature of the state. It's formed by filing papers with the Department of State, in whatever state you live in. And it can exist in perpetuity or forever, really. There are so many corporations that were formed that no longer the original shareholders are even living, but the corporations are still alive. For example, think of the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, or A&P, or now Food Emporium, and those owners are long gone. Or the Dodge brothers for the car. But the corporation is a person, and it can just go on. So this is really one of the great things about having and forming a corporation or a C corporation. And it is a separate legal entity. It can operate totally independent from its owners. It pays its own taxes. It can make contracts, and it can do anything that a person can do. It's an incredible legal form of business, and one, if you're concerned about raising money or having protection from any kind of liability, it's the kind of business entity that you want to form. There's also another entity called the limited liability company, and we'll get in talking about that shortly. But the corporation has shareholders. The shareholders only have to worry about the amount of their investment. I'm sure those of you who have stock have lost money maybe on some of your shares over the last year or the last few months. But if you hold on to your stock long enough, it will hopefully go back up. So the IRS also allows for you to have another kind of corporation, which is an S corporation, and we'll cover this on another show. But we have an outstanding guest this evening, and I really am very anxious to get to talk to him and to hear them. And he has a very unusual way and special skill and technique playing the drums. He's been referred to as one of the greatest Latin drummers of our generation. He was classically trained and is just as comfortable playing with a symphony orchestra as he is in an Afro-Cuban soul and Latin groove. I am absolutely thrilled to have as our guest this evening the creator of the incredible third-hand drumming technique. I am happy to present to you Enildo Rasua. you've been playing with 3. I mean, there are some people who have a problem playing with 2. And you're using 3 drumsticks. When did you first create this technique?
I was a marimba player. I had
Marimba?
marimba and vibraphone player.
Oh.
I study all the classical
now that's where you play
music.
2. You have 2 mallets in each hand?
I played with mallets, with 4 mallets.
Oh my gosh.
But when you play 4 mallets, 2 on per hand, you're playing 1 voice, maybe 1 voice, and 2 or 4 on your hand, okay? But one day when I was playing for the show, marimba, okay? I said, oh, maybe I can play 2 rhythm with my right hand on drum set, and the left hand, 3 voices, and right and left foot.
The rhythm, the sound, the feeling, it's just so really...
As a rule, I play, I play 2 rhythm on my right hand, and other on the left, and different with the foot.
Where did you study? Where did you grow up? I mean, when I was introducing you, I know that you are classically trained, and you are as comfortable playing classical as you are playing Latin or Afro-Cuban or... I mean, where did you first start studying? Was it here or...?
I grew up in Guantanamo, Cuba.
Ah.
Part of Cuba, Guantanamo, the
Oh, it's
province
wonderful too
Guantanamo.
that Cuba's opening up.
Yes.
And you can go back and play more there. In Havana. Have you played in Havana much?
Yes, I played in Havana, yes.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. And do you teach your third hand technique, or do you try to keep it kind of like...
Yes, no, I have different students. I teach the third hand, I teach drum set and Afro-Cuban
now, is this
set.
what these books are that you have for teaching? This one I know, what is this called? The Soul?
The Soul of the Rumba. This is books that I transcribed a lot of solos about Los Muñequitos de Matanzas. This is the most important rumba group in the history of Cuba.
Oh my gosh. I see you have a book that you've written about the Afro-Cuban drum set.
In this book, there is the history of a culture in Cuba about rhythm. It's not only rhythm, it's a kind of expression in the musical culture in Cuba.
Well, and speaking of expression, what was the name of the piece that you just played?
The first one is 12 de la Noche.
12 de la Noche.
My brother wrote it for me.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, and I know that you have several other books, drums and congas?
Drums and congas. This is for playing with the right hand with the sticks and left hand with congas.
And it's just so terrific. I feel, I get very excited when I hear really great music like this. So let's hear some more. much for being our guest this evening. Enildo, you are incredible, and Ben, Carlos, Dave, you are all just absolutely wonderful. And I look forward to having you back because we have to experience more of this terrific music. So again, thank you to our wonderful crew, a young woman who's in our control room, just graduated from Hunter College with a media degree, and I look forward to having her back with us. And of course, a very special thanks to Rich here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network for making this show possible. You have been watching Minding Your Business, a show for just outstanding, incredible musical entrepreneurs, for this evening anyway, and see yourself where you want to be.